Welcome to another great episode. I'm your host, Chris, the digital mentor, all the way from the DMV. Wanted to go ahead and give you another great exclusive video. So don't go anywhere. I promise you're in the right place. Go ahead and like, subscribe, especially if you're brand new. Welcome to my channel where we kind of just unpack a little bit of everything. Lately, it's been traveling. So I've been on my travel game, my travel mood. So we've been on travel conversations, but I try to diversify all kind of conversations. If you're returning, thank you for coming back for another episode as I drop some information. And I'm sharing my perspective. That's pretty much why we have this dialogue. So don't go anywhere. Let me go ahead and get this little video out the way so we can go ahead and get right into the main topic for the day. Let's get it unplugged. I really shouldn't have waited to get on this topic because honestly, it concerns the last couple of videos and a lot of my high ranking videos that I've talked about in regards to Cartagena, Colombia. And so from what I understand, there's been a lot of movement going on. Remember in the last video, we talked about how there's been all this, crazy stuff going on in Cartagena, Medellin, brothers getting killed, brothers getting drugged, robbed, kidnapped, all kind of crazy stuff. Well, it really now seems to be that there is actually a cleanup going on in Cartagena. Like the mayor of Cartagena, forgot the dude's name, so don't hold me on that. The mayor of Cartagena has decided to basically close down. I'm not sure if this is indefinite or they haven't actually have opened up or have plans to reopen up, but they've shut them down in regards to some policies that was going on in the actual clubs. Now, the thing is like, you have certain clubs here in America where they have certain codes and regulations. And if they're not up to code or up to par or whatever, the city gonna go after the club, or the city gonna, the state goes after the club, whatever the case may be, and the club got to shut down. Well, I really want to say it's much bigger than that. It's actually a lot of it related to a lot of the, the craziness that's been going on. They've got to do, or they had to do some type of measure to get basically, kids up out of that area. So in the walled city, there's so many tourists that come in, of course, from out of the country, from, different parts of the world. And they are literally seeing, especially me, I've seen this myself, kids as old as 5 years old and 4 years old coming up to grown ass adults to ask them for money. That is scary business. And makes matters more really worse about the whole situation is that some of these kids are being trafficked, which is 100% disgusting. I actually really feel sick to my stomach when I see that stuff. You know what I mean? But I can't do anything. If I'm a traveler, I'm going into their country, of course, exploring, being a tourist, and I see that, what can I do personally? So the city have started stepping up and starting to change the dynamic a little bit. So from what I understand also, as far as for fellas who are going down there, have a good time, whatever, ladies cannot come in, be in there apparently in the clubs. They can't just be there and waiting like they would normally do. And then the dude would just come in and then go, talk to their lady, or whatever. It's gonna be straight up curfewed and cleaned up, which I think is needed. You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't be, if it's gonna be a travel or a tourist destination, then it has to be much more than some type of sex tourism that's being exploited. It's gotta be something bigger and better when it comes down to for people to travel and want to experience. So this is why I say, I kind of felt like it was coming, there's no way, Cartagena would just be like, oh yeah, y'all free for all, everybody fuck around, do all kind of bullshit. No, there has to be checks and balances, and they have to be safety for everybody, because again, you got brothers being killed going down there and looking crazy. So that's not the good look. That's not a good look at all. I want to see brothers come back home safe, not robbed, not kidnapped, none of that stuff. But with this whole new dynamic now, it cleans up the city in a bigger way. It's kind of interesting because a lot of the stuff go down, more of the stuff goes down from what I can see in area of Boca Grande, which is like the Miami, the Miami of, Cartagena, in my opinion. And that's just really one other side of the city. You got the walled city, the old part of the city, whatnot. But you got this other part, Boca Grande, that, a lot of stuff be going down. I mean, it's kind of like down there, I hate to kind of tie it to anything, but I will say that there's some stuff going down that I can just see, of course, and stuff has been going down for years. And so eventually, like I say, for whatever you consider to be fun, not good things don't always last long, and a lot of bad things are going on, and that stuff can't go on for long. So I just say I really am praying for a better experience. Y'all know my position. I'm no going down there no time soon. I've got some heavy hitter trips, Thailand to be one of them, and Bali. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be an experience of a lifetime. That's the focus. You know what I'm saying? I really also have to urge, getting off Colombia's topic a little bit, I really gotta urge you guys to just go beyond the Caribbean. I have no problems with Jamaica. I have no problem with the Bahamas. I have no problem with Cancun, the Cayman Islands, Cozumel. But these places have gotten so touristy and played out, DR included, that it's like, can y'all just save a couple of those trips? Save a couple of those trips and go on a bigger and better trip. Not saying that they're not good, whatever in their own way, but I'm just saying, if you save your coins, you can actually dive in and diversify your experiences when you travel. Yes, they may be far away, 20-hour rides, flight ride, time. It's not bad at all. I promise you. You can get through it. You can do it. You can sit on a plane and just be patient and actually enjoy an experience once you land and see something that you probably never see again if you at least just go once. You see what I'm saying? This is your life. This is your life that I'm talking about. I'll say this too. A lot of people, again, they bring about, oh, the money, this and that. Save up a couple of 5, not even 5, 4 Cartagena trips. Them trips are anywhere right now, usually between $350 to about $550, $600. Usually in that range of price. So if you saved about 4 of those, right? You saved about 4 of those, you'll have well more than enough to go to places like Thailand, to go to places like Kenya, to go to places like Tanzania, to go to places like South Africa. These are countries that are flourishing in different cultures, will give you the actual Caribbean experience with the white sandy beaches, but better actually with different diversifying of culture. You'll get so much more from that, I promise you, just from that experience. I know I've talked about it so many times, but after I've realized that, when I was in my early 20s, right, I would go to Barbados. My mom's side's from Barbados. My dad's side's from Haiti. I haven't been to Haiti. But the thing about it is this. I would go to Barbados, I think I started really traveling as an adult at 21. That's around the time I was really kind of feeling myself a little bit. But I go down to Barbados and I'm like, okay, man, now I'm wide open. How many more times can I go to Barbados? I would go to Barbados twice a year. It's really all I could afford, and because it was so expensive. Typically, a flight to Barbados at that time would run me about, I'd say about $450 to $550, something in that ballpark. And then I'm leaving out of New York to get there, and then also, and that's because that's closest. It's just the closest, biggest airport to usually get a cheap flight. But then on top of that, then I would then pay an additional maybe $800 for accommodations, like hotel and all that stuff. Then on top of that, I'm paying damn near American prices or more for food, you know what I'm saying, and activities. So what I come to understand and realize is that when you got places like East Africa, South Africa, Thailand, you know, Bali, your money goes by so far. Yeah, you may pay that $1,500, $1,600 flight, seats, all that stuff in one shot. But when you're going there, your accommodations are hella cheap. Your lodging is it's just cheap. Your food, experiences, you know what I'm saying? A flight in between, because the country, when you think about it, it's actually, I'm just saying Thailand, for example, there's like they're far in between like the major cities. So you got Phuket, you got Bangkok, you got Pattaya, Chiang Mai. I mean, they have individual airports in those sections, and an airplane, they'll take you across countries literally less than $100 each time, maybe living less than $40. I kid you not. You can look up on there right now. You will see different Air Asia, Nok Airways. I mean, all these different airlines that are Asian owned or Thailand owned that are costing literally pennies on the dollar. I kid you not. This is why I'm just like, okay, if that's all it costs, then why am I gonna be shuffling myself, you know, burning myself? I personally, I wish I could have taken some of those trips where I spent myself stupidly going back to the same place twice in 1 year or whatever the case may be, and would have changed, or would have just said, okay, I'm gonna take that, and then I'm gonna take that amount of money and then save it for the next time. Because what you'll find is that people approach you differently based on where you're at. I went to Barbados in this past October, in last year in 2023. I will say that I wish I would maybe have not gone. It's sad to say that. People will probably look at this video and be like, what? But I'm gonna tell you why. The last time I went before that was 2019. When I went then, I had a good time. I was, you know, in a relationship. It was a babe trip situation. I was trying to introduce her to my culture, you know, my history and all that stuff. But I realized going back, I went with my folks. Something was different. It felt different. And as more as I'm kind of just, you know, intermingling and seeing, it's like something has been lost, and it's kind of Americanized now. See, anytime where, you know, I feel like I haven't left home, if I go somewhere and it feels like I'm just in Miami, or I'm in another part of America, it just feels like the culture is so saturated. Just like the time I went to Cayman Islands, like I didn't see that they had their own identity as a culture, because it just felt like it was so Europeanized. It was just so inundated with, you know, European culture that it didn't feel like Cayman Islands, like I thought Cayman Islands would feel like. And I think Barbados is going in that same direction. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but all I'm saying to you is that spend more time in places that doesn't feel like it's so, you know, starting to feel saturated in American culture, that it has its own intact culture that's exclusive and inclusive, and it feels more normal than anything else, as far as to their, you know, customs and standards. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you would go someplace and it's like you get a culture shock, like, oh shoot, when's the last time you had a culture shock in Jamaica? When's the last time you had a culture shock in places like Bahamas? You won't really find it as much. Again, I love my Jamaican people. I love my Caribbean people. I'm a part of that. But at the same time, I desire so much more than just to go back to one place that I've always been. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does get boring. And for some people, they thrive on just going somewhere where it's like 2 hours away, 3 hours away. If that's you, that's cool. Do you. But for my brothers that maybe are missing out, and I need to kind of spread you out a little bit, then I need you to think about other locations and why it matters. But the main topic of all this was about Cartagena and how Cartagena is cleaning up. And so with it being now cleaning up, with the mayor actually putting some time and attention to getting things together in Colombia, maybe one day I will probably go back. You know, I'd rather go back with my bae, you know, somebody I'm with, I'm dealing with, I'm dating, and we can enjoy that experience together. But I'd rather just wait till when that time comes, when I feel like I'd be safe. And I'd hope and pray you'd feel safe as well. By the way, if you didn't know, Ecuador is going through some shit right now. There's some gang warfare, terrorism, civil war type stuff going on there. I would not look or put Ecuador on your list. Ecuador wasn't even on my list. But I would just say, just to put that out there, it probably not a good idea to go down there right now. A lot of wild stuff. But anyhow, I hope this video was actually useful to you, that you found it in good information, good peace, good everything from me to you, giving you my perspective on the new cleanup ordinance that's going on in Cartagena. As always, make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment under this video. Let me know what you thought about everything I shared. Stay tuned for some great content that I'm going to be launching on there, including some personal history of mine that I want to share with you. Anyway, take it easy. Let's get it unplugged.